Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги, дорогие друзья. Прежде всего, позвольте поблагодарить вас, что вы нашли время и возможность посетить нашу интерактивную лекцию Publishing Conference Full Text in the European Proceedings High Quality Journals от издательства European Publisher. И позвольте представить нашего спикера сегодня. Это Зафер Бекер-Гулари, доктор психологических наук, дипломированный научный сотрудник, член британского психологического общества AFBPS, президент Международного сообщества когнитивной и поведенческой психотерапии, лицензированный психолог, основатель и управляющий менеджер, собственно, того издательства, которое он сегодня будет представлять. Наверное, несколько слов я не могу не сказать о нашем докладчике сегодня, поскольку знакома с ним несколько лет, но непосредственно поработать мы смогли в 2020 году. И я думаю, не только мы смогли поработать, но и вы, поскольку многие из вас принимали участие в конференции «Диалог культур. Культура диалога. От конфликта к взаимопониманию». Как раз все эти статьи публиковались благодаря Заферу и благодаря издательству. На данный момент все эти статьи уже опубликованы в РИНС, им каждой из этих статей присвоен ДОИ, и сейчас они отданы на верификацию в журналы Web of Science, в базу Web of Science. Таким образом, мы можем говорить об успешном сотрудничестве и ждем верификации, индексации всех наших статей. И сегодня Зафер расскажет и о своем издательстве, и о том, как правильно продвигать статьи и размещать их на платформах Web of Science. So, Zafer, first of all, I'd like to thank you for your desire to participate, and I should say that I'm very glad to see you today. So you are welcome.
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. That's my pleasure to meet you, and that's my great pleasure to meet all the attendees. Good afternoon. For the time being, I am in Cyprus. Unfortunately, because of the COVID-19, I couldn't get there in person, but hopefully I will do that again soon. The last time that I had been in Moscow, I really enjoyed it. That's one of the best places that I have ever been. And welcome again, and dobry den. Thankfully, Veronica is teaching us some Russian, so I will get ready for my next visit next time. So today I'm going to be, as you said, I will be trying to guide the authors how to publish in Europe, together with European publisher in our conference proceedings. And of course, it's going to be helping to the editors how to proceed in the process as well. So let's start, before we, once we decided together that we will have this webinar, we were thinking, okay, what we should be having that is going to be most useful for the authors and to the editors. So I believe that you will have most of the information that you need. And today we will have the introduction for 5 minutes, and then I will try to give brief information about who we are and how we choose the conference proceedings and what is the selection criteria. And for the authors, I'm going to try to give some brief information about preparations of the papers. And then we will have the Q&A, questions and answers during the last 10 minutes that all the participants, all the attendees, they will be able to ask their questions and we will try to answer them. And if we don't have enough time, we can always send written answers as well. But we will do our best to answer everything today. So Um, Dobry then again, and some important interactive lecture house rules that we will be applying today. First of all, we already started and we will be recording the meeting, and it's going to be available later on our European Proceedings Office official website. Um, we are asking from the participants to stay muted during the presentation, and uh, we ask them to write their questions in the Q&A section. And if you have any problems, if you need anything, just let us know through the chat section that we have. So let's start with our memberships and related organizations and partners that we have. And you can see some logos here, some of the organizations and some of the uh, related partners and etc. So I will try to give some information about it. First of all, you see the Crossref here. What is a Crossref? Crossref is allowing us to have digital object identification, DOI numbers, to each of the papers that we are publishing, which is kind of identity cards for each published paper. And then you see here the ORC ID for the publications that they have. And ORCID provides a persistent digital identifier that you own and own control, and that distinguishes you from every other researcher. So basically, what it means, I know that, for example, in Russia, it's quite common name, Ivan Petrov or Ivanova Petrova. Those are the uh, common names that we always receive. So let's say that you're publishing a paper, and your name is quite common. That and there are other authors, lecturers uh, with a similar name or same name that you have. When you when you have the work ID, when you use the work ID, that means that you will make sure that the paper is not getting registered with someone else's name, and you will be able to control it. And you will be able to, it will help to prove that the paper um, belongs to you. And now, European publisher, as a European publisher, we collect ORC IDs from editors as part of submission process. We also strongly encourage all authors to link their ORC ID to their Publand accounts, and we send an email to each author which allows them to link their ORC ID to their articles. So I think that's one of the biggest benefit that we are providing. Um, about the crossmark, which is going to be available in a couple of weeks, time on our website. Crossmark is multi-publisher initiative from Crossref, provides a standard way to readers to locate the authoritative version of a document, which means again, you know that sometimes once we publish the papers, we might need to update them. And when you have the crossmark service, that means that um, the person who is checking your paper, trying to use it as a citation and this kind of stuff, they will have the latest version when you use the crossmark. So European publisher is going to be provide that service as well. And you might be hearing all the time from us that we are member of the Cloaks. The Cloaks is an archive allows research libraries and scholarly publishers who launch clocks as a pilot program to preserve and store its electronic contents. Again, why it's important that we're a member of the clocks as European publisher. Again, from the perspective of the um, author or perspective from the editor or the conference organizer. When you publish your paper with the publishing house that they're uh, not member of the clocks, let's say, what happens? In let's say that you publish your paper, and in couple of years or in some time, the publishing house they shut down and the website is not available. You cannot get your paper, even that you have the DOI number and this kind of stuff. You cannot prove that the paper is there. Um, when the publisher is member of the clogs, even something happens, if even if they have the attack on their website or by somehow it's shut down, the paper never disappears because the clocks is archiving them on a safest way that is it stores them in the electronic content. So we are so proud that we are offering this service as a publisher. And the other one, uh, the other membership that we have is GASC. It's about the Sherpa Romeo is an online resource that aggregates and presents publisher and journal open access policies from around the world. And why um, why it's important to have the open access publication? What are the benefits? Why we are having it? Why is that really important? Because it gives a lot of benefit to the authors. That means that they're licensed under Creative Commons, allows others access, download and share your work with everyone freely. You don't need to pay extra. You don't need to. Um, you don't need to pay basically, and everyone can get it freely. Greater chance to get higher citations when they're available. It allows the authors and the editors to publish them in lower fees. It's broad visibility, higher discoverability, and higher chance for funding. Many fundings goes basically mostly lately to the open access publications. And of course, uh, we are so proud that we have um, lots of relationship and close relationship with Russia and from all over the world, but especially from Russia. Of course, we are related with your university, and it's our pleasure to cooperate with you. And we also have, for example, Veronica, that she is together with us, again from your university and from Russia. We also had and have uh, cooperation with other universities such as Moscow State University, um, Moscow City University, and many more that I cannot uh, even mention them right now. And sorry for that. Um, and who we are. who is the European publisher? Where are we based? What we do? Um, so first of all, we are a UK-based publishing house, while we have the registration and offices in London and in Cyprus and in Hong Kong. Um, so as part of who we are special interest volumes publishers. So we publish from uh, different uh, fields and in these special volumes. We have open access content, which I already mentioned and explained, were included in clocks. And one of the other most important things that we offer and what we have is authenticate plagiarism checking software. You know that there are many softwares that they might be available for the plagiarism, but we have to mention that authenticate is the most uh, common one and most trustable one, as we believe. And why is important to have it? Um, as a publisher, we have to make sure that the papers there that we are publishing, they're original and they're not plagiarized, and not they haven't been published earlier at somewhere else. So that's what we use to check the papers one by one before the publication is proceed. And of course, we are the first one to implement the org ID to the conference proceedings. And we have um, broad range of research areas that we cover. Our proceedings include, but are not limited to, social sciences, social and behavioral sciences, finance and economics, computers and technology, physical and life sciences, education, psychology, health, and physical and engineering. Sorry. What is the EP timeline? What is our history? Where are we coming from? Is first, it's founded in 2006, and the way that we started, uh, the first thing that we were doing was organizing conferences. Uh, and then on 2012, first, our first published journal is European Journal of Social and Behavioral Sciences. And and on 2014, first we published the EPSBS. I think most of you already know that is one of the most popular proceedings journal that we have. Uh, and from the first volume, it had been indexed with Web of Science. Of course, I have to mention right now that every time that we publish each volume, we need to submit them separately to the Web of Science. That's the rule for the conference proceedings. On 2016, we had more than 40 volumes that they had been published in 2 years, and 847 papers, full texts, articles. They have been indexed with the Web of Science Conference Proceedings Citation Index. Social Sciences and Humanities. On 2018, we had 8 journals, new journals, that they were different in multidisciplinary journals in broad range of fields such as health, computer engineering, and life sciences. Um, And on 2020, we published the first volume of 3 different journals, which is European Proceedings of Health, European Proceedings of Educational Sciences, and EP ISEPC. And for the present, we have 4,571 articles that they have been indexed in the Web of Science Conference Proceedings Citation Index. And some of our key team members that I would like to introduce you, because most of the authors and mainly the editors, they receive some emails from the key members that we have. Um, I'm one of them that you might be hearing a lot. I'm Zafar. I'm Cypriot, as I mentioned on the beginning, proudly Cypriot. And I have studying and living experience in Cyprus, of course, Greece, Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, and United Kingdom. Unfortunately, not in Russia, but I visited Russia twice. And uh, as we mentioned, hopefully we're going to be getting with our team back to Moscow very soon, as soon as the COVID is allowing us. Um, in 2014, I had been recognized for my outstanding contribution to European counseling psychology by European Association of Counseling Psychology. And we have managed you hear from her a lot, I think. She's the Associate Journal Publishing Manager. Her responsibilities include management of the production process to meet agreed standards and deadlines. She is also responsible for education, editorial assistance workloads, as well as training development. And we have Jeren. She's ACCA member, fellow chartered accountant, um, and she is uh, in our team since the time that we established the um, publishing house. And she is financial accounting manager, and she has her own team in the company. And we have Rosalind, senior content quality specialist, and of course, you hear from these three guys also a lot: Bahira, Yorgo, and Eskin. Um, they're our production educational editorial assistants. Bahira, Yorgo, and Eskin, they have responsibilities cover reviewing and editing papers submitted for publication in EP journals and conference proceeding series, as well as dealing with correspondence with editors regarding the publication process. Some of their responsibilities include evaluating the originality reports for the submitted papers. And we have Mohammed, that he is data administrator, um, and he's responsible for delivering metadata for use in Varieto online services such as clocks, archiving. And we have the newest member in our team, Veronica. Veronica is our sales consultant. She works directly with external clients, and she is responsible for developing and maintaining communication with clients and providing assistance regarding pre-publication issues. And of course, we have the uh, huge team for the IT service, which is based in Greece now. And when we say our publications, we have 7 years of inception. For the time being, we have 9 journals and series. We have more than 100 volumes that they have been published. We have more than 10,000 articles that they have been published, and we have more than 4,570 articles that they have been indexed in Web of Science Conference Proceeding Citation Index. We have 2,131 articles that they have been in RSCI, and I have to mention right now that we are a member of the e-library Russia right now with the EJSPS, and we are trying to complete the process for the proceedings as well. And we have more than 5,000 papers that they're under the review with Web of Science Conference Proceedings Citation Index. So why we believe that we are the best choice for publications of your conference proceedings is first of all, we are client oriented professional approach we have. I think all the editors, especially all the editors, will be recognizing that we respect their needs and embrace. We have client friendly strategy. We are always available and flexible, I would say, and efficient in solving issues. And we have, I will not be modest on that. We really have good quality. We really have high quality. We committed to our work and provide excellent services as we adhere to top-notch publishing standards and focus on uh, nurturing long-term cooperation. We maintain a good balance between speed and quality of the services that we are providing. Um, our visibility is one of the reasons that you should be choosing us. EP volumes are submitted for possible coverage in several databases, including, as we said, Web of Science, Conference Proceedings, Citation Index. And our editors are all expert in their field and well acquainted with their responsibilities and processes. And we always aim the long-term cooperation with the editors, with the organizations that we are cooperating. Um, that's why we have new journals, and we always can create based on your requirements and new journals because our database is allowing us to host uh, more journals that we have right now. For example, what we do, for example, one of the conference that they have their own journal is EP ICPC. So what happened is International Conference on Education and Educational Sciences. We created a special journal for them that we publish only their journals and it's getting hosted in our website, and we also host their conference in different organization that we have, which is Future Academy, you might be hearing. So we can always provide the same service to any organizers and interested people. So basically, let's say that you're planning to have the conference, to organize a conference. We start, we provide a service uh, from the time that you are building your uh, website for it. We do it for you. We host it and we help you to promote it. Then we publish your full texts. So uh, from the beginning, from the planning, and then proceeding and finalizing, we can always cooperate. And we believe that we have good experience that it helps us to do that. And what is our short-term and mid-term goals, aims that we are planning to have? As I mentioned, very soon we will have the crossmark. We already completed all the necessary process with Google Scholar, so all the papers they will be available via Google Scholar as well. And um, we're getting to new databases, boost your researchers' visibility, which is one of them, e-library Russia. And then um, in midterm, you will realize that we offer editorial management tools, which will be allowing you to accept your full texts and etc. through our system. And open access badges boost your research visibility and citations. So, and how we decide if we can cooperate with the conference organizer for their conference proceedings. First of all, we ask the editors to fill out the proposal form, which is providing us information about the conferences that they're hosting or they're organizing. And we are expecting them to provide us much information about uh, their event, and they should be sending their proposal form to admissions at europeanproceedings.com. And how was the assessment, the process? Internal editors, they receive it, and mostly we're focusing on the international board that they have, peer review process that the organizer is applying, ethical codes that they apply, what are the research areas, conferences contribution to research community. And if it is accepted, then um, we're, we are asking the organizers to announce a publication agreement with EP, European publisher, in their website. We have even social web media accounts and etc. And for the editors that they're interested, they can have our proposal form on our website, conference proceedings publication offer. Um, and I have to make it clear that we don't accept individuals to submit their papers to European proceedings. We accept only the papers that are coming through the conferences. So that's the difference between the EJSPS, European Journal of Social and Behavioral Sciences, and European Proceedings. And uh, volume editors, they have the responsibilities once they have their application is accepted. They have to set the timing together with our team. They have to guide the authors on template, copyright form, and EP submission rules, which we all provide those to the editors. And we are they have to provide MTF, providing source files and copyright forms to us, and then they have to help us to prepare the preface of the papers. So we will be able to submit them to the data to the indexing, and we collect the org IDs and from the editors as part of the submission process, and we send an email once everything is finalized to the um, authors list and editors list that we have. And template and copyright form that we are using, they're really important for the publication process. We provide them special once they are getting unique for the conference to the editors to share with the authors, but you can always have the sample ones on our website as well. And it's really important to know for the author they have to know what we are expecting from them, how they have to submit their papers. So we have the manual, and it's in English and it's in Russian language as well. You can have it on our website again, europeanproceedings.com/proceedings.epsps, for example. It's giving you the opportunity to check if in Russian and in English language before you submit your paper for the publication. And how it works, the publishing process. We have the submissions, then uh, our internal editorial team, they're checking the content quality and plagiarism and etc. And if needed, they contact the editor, so they're asking the uh, revisions of the papers. But I have to mention that we are perfectly guiding the editors how to do that and what we are expecting. Then we have the technical check process like plagiarism and etc. And it takes maximum 3 rounds. Production process where copy editing them, typesetting them, and we assign the DOIs. Then in the publication process, we have the HTML versions that they are available on the website and the PDF versions. And we have the metadata for ourselves and we're submitting them to cloaks and the other places that store that they will be stored permanently and they will not disappear. And the most one of the other most important parts, I think that most of the authors are interested is about indexing. Uh, we sub, um, we submit them for the indexing as a publisher, and indexing process is working. Once a new volume is published online, we submit them to Web of Science within 2 days for evaluation and possible coverage in the conference proceeding citation index. This selection process may take several months. Series are not indexed to WOS, Web of Science, according to their selection process. Only proceedings will be accepted for submission. This means you need to submit each, each proceedings volume after they are published online. Uh, it is at the discretion of Clearwhite as to how quickly they process and upload new contents. Unfortunately, there is no publisher that they can control the speed with them. So it depends what is the need of the Web of Science for that period. So that's why it can take some time for papers to appear and to get evaluated. And each year, Web of Science gets thousands of applications from the publishers from all over the world. A few years ago, you might remember that a few years ago, we were able to get faster evaluation of indexation for our proceedings, regardless of the topic. But more recently, Web of Science tended to focus on fast-moving topics such as technology, physical sciences, biomedical sciences. Only after they have completed evaluation on these topics, they proceed with social sciences and educational sciences and humanities. So that's why, therefore, it may take longer than you expected, but we have to mention that we need to be patient on that um, to get evaluated because it depends, as I said, on the topic of the conference and um, the need of the Web of Science for that period. Some factors affecting publication time. I know sometimes authors or editors might be willing to proceed the publication, finalize the publication process as soon as possible. What is affecting our speed is similarity level of the papers once we receive them, in-text citations and their reference lists, and table of and the figures, the quality of them, and etc. And as I said, the indexing, it may take some time for the evaluation and the result of it, but we submit them to WOS in 2 days after the publication. And basic publishing standards, we make sure that we guide the editors to apply them to all the uh, conference proceedings and volumes that we publish. And um, of course, it's important also what the information you are providing on your website about the conference as well. And it's really important to make your conference even more important. Uh, so, conference, if it has um, if it is a series of conference, it's getting more important. If it is getting sponsored by prestigious scholarly societies, of course, it's more important. Again, what sets apart your conference? Presence of your international editorial board, presence of peer review policy, presence of code of ethics, ethical statements, list of the keynote speakers, plenary speakers. We are expecting that they will be available on your website, which is going to be affecting the indexing processes as well. And the paper quality, of course, they are really important. And geographic diversity. If you if you have international authors in your list, it makes more sense and it makes the conference even more important than it is. And of course, the papers they should be original research papers, hasn't been published before, and unique importance of the research makes the conference more important. And how you should be preparing your papers. Um, for the conference proceedings, European proceedings, we accept original papers, review papers, conceptual frameworks, analytical and simulation models, case studies, empirical researches, technical notes, and book reviews. I'm checking my time. I think I need to be quick. So, for the process of publishing your papers, we have some notes. I will just be fast on showing them, and maybe for another webinar that we're planning, uh, you can register, and we are planning to have another lecture about APA standards and how to prepare the papers. We will be focusing especially on preparation of the papers to the for the publication, and it's going to be aimed to uh, lecture the to give the to offer the lecture to the authors, and we will be focusing on the details. But I'm going to give you some examples like this here, how to show your paraphrases, block quotations, paraphrases, what we are expecting, what are the rules, what APA is expecting from us, how to show your references, reference list. I know in Russia, I think the APA is a new thing as a standard to apply. So maybe you will be interested to get to the next lecture that we will have, and we will be focusing especially on that. because there are really small details that it may make everything to get to the need that revision is going to be requested. What are the common problems? And we will be focusing on them on another lecture. And what I have to say, the recite works, is really important to mention it right now. It's going to it's matching this reference list in the citation in the text. So when you get to the recite, reciteworks.com, it will be helping you a lot how to show your references in the reference list, and it's going to be matching. It's going to be helping you to match the in-text citation in the reference list. By the way, I know I have the potential to repeat myself, but I have to say that we are going to be focusing on this preparation process in another webinar, and we will be trying to help you and to guide you on that on another time. And of course, you can always ask the questions here, but if you want to email us, you can use the email admissions@europeanproceedings.com. You can always Skype us, European Publisher, and our main website is europeanpublisher.com, which is going to be available in maximum a week. For the time being, we have the europeanproceedings.com, which is already available. And as I said, you can always contact us through the offices as well, which one of them is in London, the other one is in Cyprus, the other one is in Hong Kong. So thank you very much. And before I finish, I know that it's special day tomorrow in Russia, so I have to wish you Din Защитника Отечества.
Отечество, right.
Din Защитника Отечества.
Yeah. That's
perfect. Well.
Thank you, Zafir. And now I should say that your questions can be asked in both languages, I mean Russian or English.
First, yeah. First.
Итак, вопросы могут быть заданы либо на русском, либо на английском, как удобно нашим участникам.
Do we have any questions?
Yes, we had one question about video recording. And yes, we record the meeting. Отвечу на вопрос, который уже звучал. Я не знаю, отображается ли он на всех. Задавали вопрос по поводу того, записываем ли мы данную лекцию. И да, действительно, лекция записывается и будет размещена на сайте. Я думаю, что мы также отправим лекцию в университет, скорее всего, Татьяне Николаевне Боковой, и, собственно, сможем распространить информацию, если будет необходимость и желание пересмотреть.
So was that about the availability of the records for later? Veronica? Veronica, do you hear us? By the way, you hear me, right? Yeah, okay. Something happened to Veronica's connection. So.
Veronica, there are some questions.
I don't know, but somehow we lost Veronica.
The questions are given in our chat. Veronique, would you be so kind?
Oh my God.
So I can't see Veronica now. Veronica, are you with us?
Okay, now.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't know whether you can see me or not. So my computer restarted. So I'm really sorry. Now I'm switched on using my smartphone.
There are some questions which are connected with the next webinar and about the article, etc.
About the next webinar.
Yeah, now we.
And about the price as well.
Zafar, when.
Sorry, Veronica.
So yeah, we have the question about the next volumes, whether they will be cheap. Sorry, not cheap, but whether they will be free.
For the European
next volumes. I guess this is about computers and technology.
It's about the European Journal of Social and Behavioral Sciences, which is not conference proceedings. We said that we are offering for these webinars attendees to submit their papers for free for the next 2 volumes, and you can always submit your papers for these 2 upcoming volumes, which is EJSPS. Still, is different than the European proceedings. As we mentioned, European proceedings, they allow only the conference organizers, and we publish only conference papers in the European proceedings, not individuals' papers. So the procedure is not changing for the European proceedings.
Что касается бесплатной публикации, мы действительно для наших участников предоставляем такую возможность. И сейчас мы говорим о журнале EJSBS. Это именно журнал, а не материалы конференции. Что касается материалов конференции, здесь немножко другие условия. И подробнее мы сможем предоставить их участникам по запросу.
Other questions?
So what is the price for publication is the second question.
For which one? For the European proceedings, you mean? For the EJSPS, normal price for the European Journal of Social and Behavioral Sciences, it's around 300 in total, £300. But as I mentioned right now, for these webinar attendees, for the next 2 volumes, it's going to be for free, just for these webinar attendees, just for you.
Что касается стоимости публикации, у нас разная стоимость в зависимости от журнала EJSBS. Это регулярный журнал, повторяющееся периодическое издание, и также есть материал конференции European Proceedings. Стоимость отлична, но говоря о журнале EJSBS, периодическом журнале для участников данной лекции будет предоставлена бесплатная возможность публиковаться в ближайших 2 выпусках.
For the European proceedings, you can always send an email to admissions@europeanproceedings.com by filling the application form, which is available on our website, to get an offer, because it depends on the conference size, it depends on the paper size, and etc. that we will be receiving.
Что касается выпуска материалов конференции, то здесь многое зависит от самой конференции, поэтому мы просим заполнять форму с полными данными и информацией о конференции. И если у вас уже планируется определенная конференция, мы просим обращаться по электронной почте для последующего контакта и предоставления полной информации.
And just to make it clear, Veronica, for the European proceedings, we accept the proposals only from the editor occurs only from the conference organizers, not from individuals.
Да, и хотелось бы еще уточнить, что мы принимаем материалы в сборнике European Proceedings. Это сейчас речь идет не о журнале, а именно о материалах конференции. И контактируем мы непосредственно с организаторами конференции, а не с отдельными авторами. So we have a few more questions. So how can we get acquainted about how we be informed about the conferences, the planning conferences?
The planning conferences, if it is, I think part of the question is related with Tatiana, because she is an organizer as well. But the other thing, if the question is about the conferences that we are hosting them, you can always check the futureacademy.org.uk. And for the upcoming conference modules, we always publish them on our website, europeanproceedings.com, under the category of upcoming conferences. So you can always check what is available there and what are the possibilities and alternatives that we have for your upcoming publication possibilities in our journals and the organizers that we are related.
Мы всегда размещаем информацию по поводу предстоящих конференций на нашем официальном сайте europeanproceedings.com. И также есть возможность подписаться на рассылку, оставить свои контактные данные, и мы также будем сообщать о предстоящих конференциях. So we have even more questions. Do we provide our participants with the certificates of this interactive lecture?
We have plugged it. We can provide a link through the Future Academy, but in that scenario, what it means, they will need to re-register and we will need to prove it and etc. For this one, we cannot do that, but we promise that we will be doing it for the next seminar, next lecture that is going to be focusing on APA standards and about the full guidance of the authors for the preparation in European proceedings.
Что касается сертификатов за данный вебинар или интерактивную лекцию, мы на самом деле не планировали этого, но поскольку поступил такой запрос, то на последующей конференции мы обязательно это организуем, и в ближайшее время мы планируем провести конференцию, касающуюся оформления статей, подачи материалов публикации, подробности об апостиле, и также подробнее расскажем о руководстве для редакторов и авторов статей. И на последующих конференциях мы обеспечим сертификатами наших участников. So the next question is, do you help with editing of the articles to make them meet the demands of the journals?
Yes, we have it both for the individual submissions, which is for the European Journal of Social and Behavioral Sciences. And of course, we have it for the European Proceedings journals as well, but just to mention it again, we provide that kind of service after the agreement with editors, the conference organizers, not with the individuals.
Да, конечно, мы помогаем с редактированием статей, но речь идет о коммуникации с редакторами и организаторами конференции, а не с отдельными авторами. Но мы постоянно находимся в контакте с предоставляемыми редакторами и предоставляем всю необходимую информацию для того, чтобы составить, оформить и редактировать статью в соответствии с требованиями, которые предъявляет журнал, и последующее индексирование также. We have one more question in English. Zafar, I believe that would be more convenient if you could read it.
No.
The question from Irina Tivyaeva. Irina Vladimirovna Tivyaeva. So should I read it?
Yeah.
Dear Zafar, thanks a lot for your presentation and the tremendous job you and your team are doing to provide scholars with the opportunity to present their research to the international academic community. My question concerns your policy regarding academic content platforms such as academia.edu and ResearchGate. Can researchers who publish with you share their published papers in their profiles on such platforms in open public access?
So of course, once you publish your paper, after the publication is done on our website, you can share them in any platform. They're open access. But what is really important that it happens sometimes. Some authors, they might be sharing their papers in different platforms before the publication process is completed. So what happened is, on that scenario, on that case, the program that we are using, which is Authenticate, as I mentioned, it's recognizing it as plagiarism and is getting recognized as previously published paper. So in that scenario, we cannot accept the papers and we need to remove them from our publication list. So for the question, simply the answer is yes, if it is after the publication process is completing with conference European publisher.
Вопрос заключался в следующем. Могут ли авторы статьи размещать данные, свои статьи на различных платформах? И да, действительно, они могут это делать после публикации материалов статей в интернете, в том числе и на сайте, официальном сайте издательства. Но если же размещение статьи происходит на различных платформах до официальной публикации, тогда система антиплагиат, которую мы используем, Authenticate, естественно, считывает эту информацию и распознает плагиат, и статья не проходит уровень оригинальности. В соответствии с этим мы не сможем принять данную статью к публикации. Поэтому мы просим не размещать статьи до официальной публикации и делать это, возможно, после того, как сборник выйдет после публикации сборника. So, and one more question. When is the next lecture planned?
Okay, when the next lecture is planned, I think we need to discuss it with Tatiana. And of course, we can announce it again with the same way, I think, if Tatiana doesn't mind. And by the way, we already have the email addresses of the registered attendees, and we can always send individual invitations as well. But I'm expecting that it's going to be in a month, something like that.
Я думаю, что нам следует обсудить это с Татьяной Николаевной Боковой, когда мы можем запланировать следующую лекцию. Конечно, мы будем анонсировать следующую лекцию, и у нас есть ваши контактные данные. При регистрации вы предоставляли email-адреса, соответственно, мы проинформируем вас по почте, но я думаю, что, скорее всего, лекция будет запланирована через месяц.
think that was the last question.
Yeah, the only one we have. Thank you for this webinar. That was very interesting.
Thank you. That was our pleasure to
Thank you.
time with you. Thank you, Tatiana. That was really, really great to meet you again. And can't wait that I will be meeting in person very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think we are already getting late. Thank you very much for everyone for attending today's lecture. Thank you very, very much, Tatiana, for cooperating with us and helping us to gather the attendees to guide them and introduce ourselves as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, everyone, and see you soon. See you soon. Thank you.